Sometimes, life brings together two people who were never meant to meet, at least not on paper. A young mother struggling to keep her world together, and a man who seemed to have everything. Two strangers living in opposite universes. Yet on a quiet flight at 36,000 feet, Kindness stitched their stories together in a way neither of them expected. And it all started with a tired woman, her newborn baby, and a CEO who never imagined that one small moment of compassion would change the course of 3 lives forever. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Diaries for more emotional true-to-life stories that warm the heart and inspire the world. Her name was Aaliyah, a 23-year-old new mother with dark circles under her eyes and a softness in her face that only exhaustion could carve. She held her tiny baby girl, wrapped in a cream blanket, close to her chest as she boarded the late-evening flight from Atlanta to Seattle. She booked the cheapest ticket she could find, using the last bit of her savings. Her grandmother in Seattle had fallen ill, and Aaliyah knew she needed to be there, no matter what it cost her. The baby, little Mia, was only 6 weeks old. Too young to understand the stress her mother carried like a weight on her shoulders. Too innocent to know that her mother was terrified of traveling alone, terrified of judgmental strangers, terrified of what waited for her on the other side of that long flight. In the aisle seat of her row sat a tall, well-dressed man in his late 30s. His navy suit was immaculate, and his watch probably cost more than her monthly rent. Aaliyah hesitated, clutching her baby a little tighter. This man did not look like someone who wanted a crying baby beside him. But she didn't have a choice. "Excuse me. I think I'm in the window seat," she whispered nervously. He looked up, his expression unreadable at first. Then he stood, moved aside, and offered a polite smile. "Of course. Do you need help with your bag?" he asked. Aaliyah blinked. Most people avoided eye contact with a woman holding a newborn. But this man waited patiently until she sat down, even helping her place her small diaper bag under the seat. "My name's Daniel," he said as he sat back down. She nodded shyly. "Aaliyah." The plane took off, and for a while, everything seemed manageable. Mia slept in Aaliyah's arms, and the hum of the engine felt like a lullaby. But an hour into the flight, the exhaustion Aaliyah had been fighting for days overwhelmed her. She tried her best to stay awake. She pinched her arm, straightened her back, adjusted her hold on Mia. But her body couldn't fight anymore. Her head slowly drifted sideways, and landed gently on Daniel's shoulder. He froze for a second. Then he looked down, first at Aaliyah, then at the tiny baby bundled against her chest. The baby stirred, making a soft sound, but Aaliyah didn't move. She was deeply asleep, breathing slow and steady, finally getting the rest she desperately needed. Daniel let out a quiet breath. He didn't move her. He didn't wake her. He simply sat there, still as a statue, shoulder slightly tilted so she wouldn't slip. For the next 2 hours. Daniel was the CEO of a major tech company. A man used to control, speed, decisions, deadlines. A man used to living in first-class seats and private lounges. But at that moment, he sat in a cramped coach seat, letting a stranger sleep on his shoulder. When Mia started fussing, Daniel did something no one around them expected. He gently rocked the baby with the back of his knuckles, humming softly, not touching her, but soothing her with rhythmic motion. It worked. Passengers around them watched with curious, softened eyes. When the flight attendant passed, Daniel whispered, "Can I get a bottle of warm water?" For the baby. Aaliyah didn't wake up. She slept through it all, through turbulence, passengers brushing by, the flight attendant handing Daniel a water bottle. And Daniel protected that sleep like it was something fragile and precious. When the plane finally landed, the jolt made Aaliyah wake up with a gasp. She jerked upright, embarrassed, immediately apologizing. "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh my goodness, did I lean on you? I'm so sorry, I didn't even know." Daniel shook his head gently. It's okay. You were exhausted. I shouldn't have fallen asleep, she whispered, cheeks burning. Mia didn't cry, did she? She was perfect, Daniel said. You both were. Aaliyah blinked in surprise, not sure how to respond. People usually complained. Rolled their eyes. Changed seats. Daniel wasn't like those people. As passengers stood up to collect their bags, Daniel hesitated before speaking. Are you headed somewhere specific? Do you have a ride? Aaliyah bit her lip. I'm taking the bus to my grandmother's. Daniel glanced at the baby in her arms, the heavy diaper bag on her shoulder, the fatigue still lingering in her face. If you're comfortable with it, he said gently, I can get you a car. A private one. No cost. I insist. Her eyes widened. I can't accept that. You don't even know me. That doesn't matter, Daniel replied. You're a mother traveling alone with a newborn. If I can make your night a little easier, let me. She didn't answer right away. She didn't trust kindness, not because she didn't believe in it, but because she wasn't used to it. But the sincerity in Daniel's eyes softened her hesitation. Thank you, she whispered. They walked together through the airport, Daniel carrying her bag while Aaliyah held Mia close. When they reached the exit, a black SUV waited at the curb. But the story didn't end there. Because just as Aaliyah turned to thank him one last time, Daniel reached into his pocket and pulled out a small white envelope. This is for you, he said. Open it when you get settled. She shook her head. No, really, you've done more than enough. It's nothing bad, Daniel assured her. Just something that might help. He placed the envelope in her hand and stepped back. Aaliyah sat in the car, confused and overwhelmed, her heart pounding as the driver pulled away from the curb. After a moment, she tore the envelope open. Inside was a note. And behind it, she gasped. A check. A large check. More than she made in months. Her vision blurred, tears spilling onto the paper as she read Daniel's handwriting. You are stronger than you know. Use this for whatever you and Mia need. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember that even the strongest people deserve help sometimes. Aaliyah pressed her hand to her mouth, trying not to cry too loudly and wake her baby. She didn't know Daniel was the CEO of a major company. She didn't know he was on his way to a high-stakes business meeting that night. She didn't know that he himself had grown up with a single mother who rarely slept, rarely smiled, and rarely received help from anyone. But what she did know, was that kindness from a stranger had just changed her life. The car ride felt like a dream. When she arrived at her grandmother's house and stepped onto the porch, she held Mia tightly, whispering to her. People still care, baby girl. People still care. Later that night, as Aaliyah rocked Mia to sleep, she thought about Daniel's shoulder, Daniel's patience, Daniel's quiet generosity. She promised herself that one day, when she could stand on her own feet again, she would pass that kindness on, whether to a tired mother, a lost child, or anyone who needed it. Because kindness doesn't disappear when you give it away. It multiplies. It echoes. It touches lives in ways we may never fully understand. And all it takes, is one moment. One choice. One human being deciding to care. In a world where everyone seems rushed, stressed, and wrapped up in their own struggles, Daniel chose compassion. And because of that choice, a young mother and her baby found hope again. May this story remind us all. You never know what someone is carrying. You never know how much your kindness might mean. And you never know whose life you might change, just by caring. Thank you for watching this story on Kindness Diaries. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember,